So guys, today we're going to edit this artwork. I uploaded to Instagram. This is the live editing tutorial I gave via Instagram stories. So let's start. So I have here my background, which is this one. Okay, and as you can see in the final photo, I have the raccoon here. So what we need to do first is to make space for the raccoon. So let's start just brushing this out. I want my raccoon to be here. What I'm gonna do is with a quick selection tool, I'm gonna select the leaves that are going to be in front of the raccoon. Sorry. I'm gonna copy this, and there we have it. Now, let's just erase the background of this raccoon. We're gonna do not a very exact, because at the end it's going to be darker on the edges of the raccoon, so it doesn't have to be a very good cropping. Let's bring the leaves to front. Now let's check if everything is where it needs to be. I'm gonna move a little bit the raccoon so you can see how the ear will be affected. Okay. Okay, now let's get into details. I'm gonna lower the brightness of the raccoon a little bit and take. Now you don't want to take, you may say like, well, the raccoon is on the back, so it has to be darker, so I'm gonna take brightness. Well, that's not an answer, because you take brightness and look what this happens. So it's not the right way to, let's say, take brightness, or that's not the way I do it. I'm gonna show you how I do it, sorry. But just wait a little bit. Okay, so now we have the raccoon. I'm gonna take an opacity to see where I still need to take to bring leaves to the front. So here's a leaf that is in the back of the raccoon. It doesn't have to be there. So you need to be very careful with this. There you go. The photos are, I use backgrounds and animals from Unsplash and Pixabay, and there are many free of rights where you can get photos. The point of this is to create something unique. So okay. Now let's take part of this black thing here, so you can see that is taking me part of the raccoon. Now again, it doesn't have to be this perfect on the edges of the raccoon, because it's going to disappear a little bit, so that will do it. Okay, now here again, I'm going to take the leaf to the front. So another thing is that the raccoon also needs to be right over here. So let's just, okay, that's a raccoon with full opacity. Let's see if we've missed something. I don't know. Okay, now I want this leaf to be a little bit bigger so you can cover a little bit of the raccoon's head so it will look like it's behind. So I'm gonna take this leaf, I'm gonna copy it, I'm just gonna make it bigger. I'm gonna put it right here and it just looks like a bigger leaf. Easy, right? So there are a lot of tricks that you can do when editing a photo that we change completely. You see how this looks like, and then you add the bigger leaf. It's like it's really behind, you know. So let's duplicate our raccoon because I want this four to be right here too. So there we go. Now let's make the shadows of the raccoon because it's behind the leaves and it's very dark inside, so it needs to be dark. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this for you guys so you can have it there. Now let's make a new layer. We're gonna do a multiply and we're gonna select the gray. We're gonna make our brush a little bit too big, and here's what we're going to start doing. We're gonna link it to the group and we're going to start giving the shadows to the raccoon. Just a little bit at first, so you can see it's not that much. It's a medium gray, but it's a little bit darker because it's obviously on multiply. Now I'm gonna pick a darker gray, make this a little bit more smaller, and I'm gonna start giving the shadows. You see how it starts disappearing the edges of the raccoon, which is what we need. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, but not that big, just so you can enter very softly into the raccoon. There we go. Now let's do another layer. We're gonna do the same, but we're gonna add the shadows of the leaves. A little bit more detail this time, so multiply. And let's start just imagining that the leaves are making this shadows all over the raccoon because the light comes from here, so the shadows are on the back of the leaves. Oh, sorry. I need to put this here, like this. This leaf makes a shadow right here. This too. There we go. You see how it changes so much when we have the shadows. And almost all these parts of the raccoon that we were just cropping out. I mean, they're still there. They're very, very softly. But if you do a close-up, you actually believe that the raccoon is on the back, because you can see like these hairs that are just, you know, disappearing on the darkness. So it gives you the impression that it's actually very, very dark, and the light is just in this way. So there we have it. You see the difference of the shadows. You know, mostly in most editions, the key is the lights and shadows. You see without shadows, with shadows. Okay, so maybe that's too much. Okay, this part. You see how you can even see that the ear was chopped, but nobody knows that. Now you guys know that. Okay, so there we have it. Now I'm gonna make, like I told you the last time, I edit a lot with Selective Tool by Nick Collection by Google. This helps me a lot with the tones and contrast. So I'm gonna use Color FX Pro. It's loading. Okay, so what I did is I added a bleach pipe. Okay, I'm gonna take this all off so you can see how it starts changing. I added a bleach bypass, which takes a little bit the tones and just gives me contrast and sharpness, as you can see. Then I use Photo Stylizer with number 6, just to give it a little bit of reds, you know, come to life, and magentas. Then I use the tonal contrast, 1% highlights, 79% midtones, and 25% shadows. And I added 20% of saturation in a contrast type standard. This helps me a lot to bring details, as you can see. So I want it to be very, you know, sharp, because, you know, I love the hair of the raccoon, how it's like all spiky, and the texture of the leaves, I just love it. So I wanted to, you know, highlight that. Then I use a colorize just to make it a little bit bluish, as you can see in method 1. And I also added a detail extractor. You see how it changes so much. I have 0% of contrast and I have 10% of detail extractor, but I also added 44% of saturation. So as you can see, the colors pop out and my details too. And then I added a little bit of film grain. I just love that effect, and it has a little bit of contrast, as you can see. So that's, you know, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Color FX Pro that I used. Then I click OK. Now my final image is a little bit more bluish. So, and we're gonna do a rectangle here. We're gonna colorize it. I believe it was something like this. And add a soft light. We're gonna take the opacity, of course, up like to 30%, and we're gonna take a little bit of that soft light with the raccoon, because the raccoon doesn't need that. Just a little bit. It's okay that if you leave some bluish tones there, because it's a reflection of the highlights of the leaves. And there you go. We have our raccoon. It's a little bit different, the position. Now what I did here also is that I make it a little bit more smiley. So I know it's weird, but it changes a lot. You know, let me show you how it would look if I don't take off. That's it. So I'm just gonna make it slightly happier. You see? Like just a little bit. Like that. So you see how it changes so much, how you see the raccoon. So there it is, our final happy raccoon. Of course, it's a little bit different than the first I uploaded since we re-edit the whole photo. But now you know how to do this edit. In the info section, there's a Dropbox link where you can download the background and raccoon so you can make your own edit. Also, there's a Photoshop file if you need to check on something or different layer masks or parameters, whatever. Don't forget to tag me if you do so and upload it to Instagram so I can see your amazing artworks. So that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching and remember to subscribe. Love you guys.